When millions of fans around the world turn on their TV to watch the FIFA World Cup, they rarely realize that what they're watching is the tip of a giant iceberg. Behind the spectacle lies a web of intricate rules, calculated rankings, and carefully guarded decisions, all managed by FIFA, the organization that governs football globally. Imagine this. You're a dual national player caught between two nations you love. FIFA's eligibility rules decide which path you can walk. Teams fight for ranking points with every match they play, not just for bragging rights, but to secure a place in tournament pots. And billions of dollars ride on FIFA's annual financial juggernaut. It's a dazzling, political, commercial machinery, and knowing how it works reveals just how much is engineered behind the scenes. Eligibility. The ties that bind the moment a player steps onto a national team's pitch. Hidden rules determine that person's future. FIFA's eligibility system is built for fairness, but it's also careful diplomacy. Take a player born in France with Moroccan grandparents. FIFA requires citizenship plus a clear connection to play for a country. And once a player appears in an official competitive match, not just a friendly, their allegiance is locked in or cap-tied. Yet a 2020 update introduced nuance. If someone has only appeared in 3 or fewer senior matches before age 21 and none of those are in crucial tournaments, they might still switch associations, though that chance comes once only and under tight conditions. Imagine the suspense in a player's mind when called up by two nations that must weigh emotional ties, squad chances, and potential legacy, all under FIFA's watchful eye. Rankings, where low meets emotion. Every month, national teams awaken to a number, their FIFA World Ranking. It determines seeds, streams, and bragging rights. But rather than pure win-loss records, FIFA switched in 2018 to an elo-style system, a method borrowed from chess. Here's how it works in everyday terms. A team's prior ranking sets a baseline. Then come 3 factors for every match: the match's importance, the team's actual result, and how likely that result was. Win a critical World Cup match against a highly ranked opponent and your ranking points surge. Lose a low-stakes friendly to a weaker team and points slip away. Mathematically, it's clean. Your new rating is your old rating plus importance X result minus expected result. But in plain speech, it means that victories close the gap if you're underdogs, while losses to inferior teams sting more if expectations were high. It's a dynamic tug-of-war between skill, strategy, and luck, but always measured. Though transparent, this system has critics. It doesn't weigh goal differences or account for home advantage. And friendlies carry little meaning now, often ignored even by top teams. Yet a low remains FIFA's choice for ranking, and those points decide your World Cup fate. The long road, World Cup qualification. Think you only need to win one tournament to shine in the World Cup. Think again. The drama begins years before kickoff, across 6 geographically split confederations. In Europe, some teams navigate grueling group stages and pressure-packed playoffs. In South America, 10 nations battle home and away, endurance testing every player's resolve. Africa, Asia, CONCACAF, and Oceania each tailor their own quests, with only a few coveted spots each. For many nations, qualification is grueling, involving dozens of matches over 2 years in stadiums burning hot or freezing cold on home soil or hostile away fields. Then there are the nail-biting intercontinental playoffs, where continents collide and a World Cup dream hinges on 1 or 2 matches. Every victory echoes around the globe. Every loss can break national hearts. Expansion. 2026 is big gamble. The World Cup format itself is transforming dramatically. What was once 32 teams in 8 groups has grown. By 2026, it will include a historic 48-team format with 12 groups of 4. Suddenly, best third-place teams join in, turning traditional knockout rounds into a massive 32-team field before the quarterfinals. The expansion might sound like inclusivity in action, and in some ways it is, but there's tension behind the scenes. FIFA dreams of wider reach, more markets, more revenue. Critics worry this will balloon travel, tire out players, and dilute quality. And it's not just logistical. Hosting 48 teams across 16 cities spread across 3 countries, the US, Canada, and Mexico, means fans and teams will traverse thousands of miles. Vast carbon footprints and climate concerns swirl beneath the hype. Heat, climate, and hidden costs. Picture stadiums baking under relentless sun, players collapsing from heat, fans sweating in sweltering seats. These scenarios aren't future hypotheticals. They happen in recent international events. In 2025, a Club World Cup in the US saw pitches hit 100 deg F, 38 deg C. Coaches and players cry foul, calling for later kickoffs to avoid midday extremes, especially with the 2026 summer tournament looming. Scientists and unions flag dangerous heat-stress conditions where traditional cooling breaks might be inadequate. And all this in a tournament already criticized for producing an estimated 3.7 million tons of CO2, mostly from fan and team travel. Experts warn it's the largest carbon footprint ever for a World Cup, while environmentalists accuse FIFA of hollow greenwashing, ignoring pledges made after Qatar 2022. Seeding, draws, and alleged gamesmanship. When teams hear Group A, Group B, they're rarely assigned randomly. Instead, FIFA sorts them into seeding pots using the rankings we discussed, then draws groups, honoring confederation rules to avoid too much regional concentration. In theory, it's a system of fairness and drama. In practice, fans suspect manipulation. In the 1998 World Cup, for instance, Michel Platini admitted influencing the pots to avoid pitting France and Brazil against each other early. Papers later suggested draw order alone can swing qualification probabilities by over 1%, enough to alter fortunes for smaller nations. So while official rules govern seeding, whispers remain about influence for TV ratings, ticket sales, or political optics. Money talks, but at what cost? World football is big business, and FIFA sits at the epicenter. Revenues from TV rights, sponsorships, and tickets soared past $6 billion in previous tournaments, and forecasts for 2026 to double that. Originally, FIFA shared proceeds with member associations invested in youth, women's football, and infrastructure. But explosive growth has drawn scrutiny. Major scandals, especially Qatar's hosting rights, cast shadows. Critics say FIFA's high-profile expansions tilt priorities toward revenue rather than the health of the game or the planet. Players fight back. As FIFA pushes expansion, others are pushing back. Club leagues in Europe, concerned for their players, filed legal complaints with the EU over scheduling conflicts and player burnout. Angelo Kovac, coach of Borussia Dortmund, called for later kickoff games after his team struggled in even just afternoon heat during a Club World Cup match. FIFPro, the International Players Union, urged extended halftime and extra hydration breaks in 2026 World Cup games, demands viewed as protests against FIFA's broader agenda of expansion at all costs. These conflicts highlighted tension at the heart of modern football: the desire to grow vs. the need to protect players and preserve quality. The grand design or overreach. FIFA is a vast, complex machinery. It sets eligibility rules that shape player loyalties, calculates rankings that define tournament seedings, and lays out formats that include far more nations than ever before. But each of these steps crosses into broader territory: economics, climate, politics, labor welfare. And it's in these intersections that FIFA's decisions ripple the farthest. Will the 2026 World Cup redefine football by being the most global, inclusive tournament ever? Or will it stretch the game too thin, players too much, and raise questions about environmental responsibility? Will scheduling adjustments protect athletes, or will matches remain rigid to appease broadcasters and sponsors? Next time you see a massive tournament draw, a dramatic underdog win, or an upset in the World Cup, remember, each moment comes with millions of behind-the-scenes choices by FIFA. They set the eligibility rules and rankings. They arrange the format. They negotiate sponsorships and broadcasting rights, and yes, sometimes they need to check the thermostat. FIFA's world is as full of negotiation and strategy as a tense penalty shootout. Except here, the stakes are financial, environmental, and human. The beauty of football may be spontaneous on the pitch, but off it, everything is meticulously plotted. So as the camera pans over a packed stadium, fans erupt at the final whistle. You're seeing only half the story. The rest hums beneath. Algorithms, geopolitics, sustainability debates, and high-stakes power plays. And that's how FIFA really works, shaping the game we love, one calculated move at a time. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss upcoming new videos. This is more than just football. This is the world's biggest stage, and now you know how it really works. See you in the next one.